Welcome, everybody. It's your girl Delores, just the pink girl in my pink world, here on every social platform. With my good brother J News. J News, you got something to tell the good people?
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are back at it again. It is Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we're here on the Hit the Ropes podcast. Gonna bring you guys up to date on what was in the week of pro wrestling, and yeah, let's get the show on the road.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen. But before we start, I've been getting a question all week. Dolores, what do you feel about? I'm gonna say his name because he dead now. Hulk Hogan. Okay, and I wanted to take the time to say, ladies and gentlemen, yes, he was an icon. Yes, he was a big figure in wrestling. Was he the greatest human being? No. And that's why I lie. Because some of you all have asked me, some of you all have mentioned him because you know I like wrestling. What do I feel about him? And I just want to let you all know before I am Dolores, before you see me, you hear me, before you get to know me, before you see me on this podcast, I am a black woman, point blank, period. I can't put that to the side. And what he said made him not a good person in my book. And for that, he ain't never gonna be good for me. You know, wherever he go, which I think is a toasty place, he ain't gotta worry about me, and I ain't gotta worry about him. So as far as me celebrating him on the channel and doing this small video package thing, won't happen here. But I don't know how anybody else feels. I just know personally, as a black woman, I cannot put what he said and did to the side. He never apologized. He never took ownership. He just deflected. And for that, he is what he is. And he's gone. So I ain't never got to say red and yellow. I ain't never got to say his name. He gone. Now, I don't know if J News got anything to say about it, but because there's a lot of discourse online of whether we should celebrate him or just put him to the side.
Yeah, I'll leave the discourse to people online at the end of the day. No doubt, we're part of the if, for better or for worse, we're part of the internet wrestling community and things of that nature. But I'll let everyone else share their opinions and thoughts and things of that nature to whatever degree they feel like expressing themselves. I got taught a very long time ago, and I still work with this till this day. Um, Everybody has an opinion, just like everybody has an asshole. And for me, there is a time and there is a place in order to share said opinion, depending as to whatever your intent and whatever your purpose or agenda is behind said opinion. And for once, probably on the internet, someone's got to say, I don't really have an opinion. Not good, not bad, not indifferent, or anything of that nature. Just keeping it to myself because I can. At the end of the day, I think a lot of people need to understand that keeping things to yourselves is not a bad thing.
Yeah.
You don't have to share everything. I understand that's the world we live in, but just understand that there's a choice in which you can make to not share something. And I'm gonna make that choice not to share.
Yeah, and that's why I tell people, like, I've gotten into some internet discussions. I feel like the gatekeeping of I am very pro black. So the gatekeeping of how we should feel at this moment, I that's what made me say something because I'm like, I can't sit back and just let people say, well, you should feel this way, you should feel that way. There's a time for me, there's a time and a place for everything. It was a time and a place for him not to say what he said, and he did. So it is what it is. And so for people who feel like he's a hero, you can celebrate him. That's no problem. We don't have no problem with that. The problem we have, some of us in the black community, is that we were disrespected. And at a certain point, if you don't stand up for something, you ain't gonna stand up for anything. So it's like that's when it's like, yeah, we joke. I mean, as a community, we joke about anything. I mean, I've been at a funeral where we crack jokes. I've talked about it up here. It's just our human nature. But it's okay to have an opinion. It's okay not to feel away. If he was a hero to you, that's great. Some of us he was a hero, and some of us he was a hero until he broke our hearts. And so from then there, I mean, I listen. I don't know how many times as a black community lately we have listened to Brooke Hogan, but listen, girl, go back, get your career, go out there, sing your music. You know that Power Wall song is stuck in my head now, J News. You remember she had a song with Power Wall?
No, no, I don't
I'm
remember
gonna have
that
to
at all.
put you on because
No,
it's
no,
been a
please don't,
TikTok
please don't.
thing
No,
where
no, 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 no.
it's been a
Don't,
TikTok
don't,
thing where
don't
it
do
was
that.
good.
Don't do
It was
that to me.
like Britney Spears level. It was good. It was
Don't do
good.
that. Don't do that to me. But shouts to Paul Wall. Paul Wall got a new album out for those who want to go listen to it and all that jazz.
He need to go
So there.
get Brooke again. But ladies and gentlemen, we are the Hit the Ropes podcast, and we are here to welcome you for the reviews and the previews. Again, welcome. Okay. So now we're gonna go on to the Hit the Ropes studio podcast room. Let's go on over. Got it. Got to add me and J News back to the scene. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you know what time it is. It's time for review. Whoop. Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna start off with WWE. We're gonna start off with Monday Night Raw on the 21st. We on Netflix. We had Sheamus defeat Rusev for the WWE World Tag Team Title number one contendership triple threat match. We had LWO, which is Cruz del Toro and Joaquin Wild, defeat the New Day, Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods, and American made of Brutus Creed and Julius Creed. For the WWE Women's Tag Team Title match, we had the Judgment Day, Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez defeat Bailey and Lyra Valkyria. We had Karrion Kross defeat Sami Zayn. And Io Sky and Stephanie Valkyria ended in a no contest. J News, did you see this and what did you think?
Yeah, I was tapped in this week. I was able to see the majority of everything that went down between all the different companies and all that jazz. The world tag team title scene on both shows, be it SmackDown or Raw, are they're a bit convoluted. There's a lot going on with the tag team divisions on both ends. Every team seems to be involved with every team. So
Yes.
it's kind of tough to keep up with what's going on. The only thing that I do know about the is it are they no they're not in this match, so I'll mention them when we get to SmackDown. But as of right now, we're still dealing with whatever the remnants of this new of the New Day gimmick and their mourning of the loss of their titles and yada yada yada. We're still dealing with that.
I found it mighty ironic that they were in the office, but they were in serious mourning, and some of the
Perfect.
pictures they took backstage with like the funeral attire on
Mm-hmm.
was just hilarious. And then now that Grayson Waller is like, I've gotten rid of Austin Theory, no more A Town Down. You know, it's just me, and I'm gonna be with y'all. They were looking at him like, we didn't ask for your help. We wanted help, but not your help.
Right, right,
And
right.
it's like now you're gonna see how this goes when Austin is not Austin. Grayson is going to be the one essentially begging for somebody to take him in.
Yeah.
And it seems like New Day is going to be the first one to reject him. Is he going to try this for the Judgment Day and the rest? Is he just going to go around from team to team or faction to faction to try to find a way to fit in?
Seems like that's the way it's going. at the end of the day, they didn't even properly blow off the breakup between uh, Austin Theory and Grayson Waller on TV.
Isn't Theory really hurt? And that's why
I don't know. I wouldn't even be
yeah,
able
I
to
think
tell
he's really hurt because that's the first thing he mentioned. Oh yeah, he got himself hurt. And so that's why I got rid of him. He was no good. And so
because
it's like
from the
that,
understanding I got from watching certain clips online and like the narrative that was going around, Austin Theory was on main event tapings just like that night or something like that. I don't know. It was a whole thing that people made about it. So do with it what you will. Um, I think we did we skip over the Sheamus and Rusev thing? Nah, we didn't.
no,
Um, at the end of the day, that match is what it is. I've got no interest there, and it doesn't have anything to do with Sheamus.
yeah.
Uh, so the
They
judge,
need Lana to come back with Rusev and make it Rusev Day.
I don't, I think, you know what? Let me speak for myself. Let me be a little bit more intentional about this. For me, that character, that dude, Rusev, Miro, whatever you want to call him, his his well has run dry for me at the
Yeah.
end of the day. I got no love for him. I don't want to see him on my screen. It just doesn't. He does not move the needle for me at all, or whatever the
Like
case.
his character in AEW, I like outside of the video game thing he had going on for that.
Yeah, that
But
was.
when he came back, I thought he was gonna be like similar to that character, where he's almost gonna be like Goldberg, just kicking butt. But then he got mixed in with Tozawa and them, and I really didn't care.
Yeah,
Also, I appreciate Ludwig Kaiser uh keeping keeping it going with El Grande Americano and him beginning to speak Spanish. That has gotten me because I'm like, we obviously know this is a different person at this point, and we obviously know who it is, but they keep playing it like we don't know. And I'm like, when Chad comes back, how are they gonna switch this back?
they're gonna pull the Spider-Man thing, that Spider-Man meme where they point at each other and they start acting like they don't know who each other is and stuff like that. I
And
feel
how
like
did Ludwig get a part of this group? Because he was on the outside, and now he went them, and it don't quite make any sense. Because it's like Gunther and him were together. Gunther kind of put him to the side, and then he really was getting lost in the sauce, and now he's El Grande Americano. And I can't tell you how Ivy got him to do this.
we'll see how it all boils down. I mean, there's a section of the fan base that hates it. There's another section that just thinks it's funny. He got a big pop in Mexico over the weekend,
Yes.
so it varies depending as to where you go. So they're gonna keep it alive for as long as they can, and we'll see what happens. But at least Kaiser's back on TV in some capacity, so it works out in that way. But yeah, the women's tag team match, Raquel and Roxy went up against Bailey and Lyra. That broke down because Bailey and Lyra broke down, and then we saw Becky Lynch come out or during the match or after the match, I forget. Uh, Whatever
She
case
came
it is,
out during the match.
during the match,
Yeah.
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 So she interfered, and her and Lyra are gonna be having that match at SummerSlam and whatnot. Lyra and Becky, that is. Bailey is not on SummerSlam for some reason or another. She's not booked as of yet. So, and
But
she's been,
we got another week. They might give her something.
yeah,
But I hope not secretly because for those who are complaining about SummerSlam being 2 nights, as somebody who I pre-put in stuff for my shows because I got watch alongs for these shows, they're like between the 2 nights, like 15 matches so far.
oh, I thought they were still doing the 5 match per night card thing. So,
I I think they're like, let me see. I have the banners for them. SummerSlam night one. Okay, minus two, three, four, minus four little banners. There are let's see, it might be 5 matches. One, two, three, four. So it's five so far.
Mhm.
They said they might add one or two more. So if you add like two more and you can do like 7 matches each night, that's 14.
Mhm.
And I don't want an AEW moment where I'm sitting there for 5 hours to watch 14 matches in one day. It breaks it up. And on the second night, they are very, seems like it's very women heavy in the middle.
Mhm.
So where the first night is like you have a couple of women's matches, but not as you much as you do on the second night. Not as, I think the women's matches will be better on the second night
Mhm.
than compared to the first night.
I
So
mean,
it's
we'll see.
like, you get a men's night and a women's night, and you get to have the best of both worlds. And for me, if you all do not know, I've been saying I'm excited because Cardi B is there. I don't know what her and Chelsea got going on. They're still going back and forth online. But we'll see because I don't think Chelsea has anything for SummerSlam as of yet.
No, a lot of people don't. So the right now with the way that they've been telling stories since Saturday night's main event, and then the Evolution pay per view, and then the previous pay per view, it's all been kind of um not kind of, it hasn't been as consistent. So
Yeah,
that's why I'm like, I don't. There's going to be a lot of people left out of SummerSlam at the end of the day, just because they've been sticking so, especially when it comes to their bigger pay per views.
I
They've
think
been
they should start by doing pre-shows. I mean, not pre-show, but pre-show matches instead of me having to watch people talk for an hour. Throw some matches in, then you can get some people on the card, and that'll make people watch the pre-show. Right now, we don't watch the pre-show because we know they're gonna be talking and they're gonna be packages for a whole hour.
Yeah, and then they repeat those packages during the pay per view. So it's
Yeah.
just like it's a lot at the end of the day. But we'll see how it boils down. Hopefully, a lot of folks aren't left off the show, but it seems that way. But like you said, they have a week, this week, to figure all that out, because SummerSlam is this weekend, from my understanding. So
Yes,
um,
it's this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. I will be doing a watch along. So technically, in a month, because they have enough time to develop storylines. We have SummerSlam on the second and the third. We have Triple Mania, which is on YouTube now, on the 16th. We have I think it's the 21st or 24th. It is Heat Wave with NXT. And then the 31st, we have Clash in Paris.
the
Yeah.
yeah, it's I'm sorry, it's too many shows, man. It's too many shows. It's too
And
many.
so I thought until I woke up last night that I would have two at the beginning of the month, two at the end of the month. I was like, great. And then Triple H was like, you know what? We're gonna have Triple Mania and it's gonna be on YouTube. And I was like, you sons of okay, Triple H, okay. But lately, I would say their shows have been short. So maybe two and a half, tops 3 hours. I take that than being sitting there like Workhorse did, where they were there almost 6 hours, not including the pre-show for All In. Now don't want to do that. Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna go way back in the playback. And we're gonna go to the next show, which was NXT. Ladies and gentlemen, NXT was on the 22nd, the next night on the CW. We had the culling Izzy Dane, Nico Van, Sean Spear, and Tatum Paxley defeat Hank and Tank, which is Hank Walker and Tank Ledger, along with Sol Ruka and Zarya. We had Jasper Troy defeat Ricky Saints by countout. We had Blake Monroe defeat Ren Sinclair. And for the WWE NXT title triple threat match, we had Obafemi retain his title by defeating Josh Briggs and Inamura. Yoshiki Inamura. See, it just hit me with J News be telling me. J News, did you see this? And what did you think?
I think for the last month or so, because I used to, NXT used to be that show that I would watch just for the sake of watching, and it's like one of those. I didn't like to admit the fact that I watched NXT, but I watched NXT type deal. Um, And now it's just not good for me. It's just not good. It feels like 2.0 all over again right now. Right now, it just feels like NXT 2.0 all over again, and that's
I
that's
think
what.
it's because it's so many. They sent up all the good veterans and then left it with a shell of itself. And
But the,
so, who do you really have that is a veteran that can work with these young people in ring on TV?
but the thing
Nobody.
about
They just
it is,
working with each other. They just messing it up with each other. Nobody there. Ricky Sainz, I would say he's a veteran, but he's getting used to the NXT style where it's like performances first, wrestling in second. And Blake Monroe, she was new to AEW. She was learning that style. Now she's super new to NXT. And so you really don't have anybody. Sean Spears, yes, but he's in the culling and he's trapped in a bad group fighting with other bad people. And it's like, you really have nobody. It's like we had the time where Bianca was there, or like Shayna Baszler was there. Like we always had at least one person stay behind to help, like teach the ropes and help work with other upcoming stars, one male and one female. Remember when Carmelo was there and he was kind of like feuding with Trick to kind of get Trick up to the point? We don't really have nobody to do that with these groups of people. And
no,
it's
I
just
mean,
like new people fight new people, and they're just not cool.
at the end of the day, from an experience standpoint, they do have outside of the ladies, because all the ladies are new. There are no real veteran ladies on the NXT roster, and I don't necessarily mind that because a lot of them are physically gifted. It's just, from a character standpoint, the pros pro, the veteran in the women's locker room is Jordan Grace, and even like to your point, even Jordan Grace is getting used to the NXT WWE style of things or whatever the case is. So even with that, you don't have, like you said, you don't have that veteran leadership where people to be able to lead a lot of the younger, greener wrestlers and things of that nature. So that to me is a source for concern. The storylines for me are they're just not hitting necessarily. The narratives that get spun by the fan base as well don't help. Like the way they're making Ricky Saints look after this big commotion and all that stuff about him coming in. Now he's out here getting trounced by LFG Kid. A lot of people think that's a shot at Ricky and things of that nature. So that was the whole thing online during the week. The Blake Monroe thing, I've adapted the mindset of give it time. I'm not going to feed into the whole narrative about folks thinking that she's bland and that she's boring and things of that nature. I'm going to give it time. I'm gonna see if what NXT and the writing staff over at WWE is doing with her starts to take flight. Because her being a heel, it works, yeah, no doubt. But it's like from their product standpoint, how well will it work? And I've always said, me personally, that her wrestling style, what she does in ring, didn't help her much in AEW, and I'm not too sure what it's going to lend her here at NXT. So that being what it is, free Ren Sinclair. I'm a heavy Ren Sinclair person. I watch her every Wednesday, so it is what it is. I got love for Ren, so that's what it is there. And and the question still stands: who's going to defeat Obafemi? Who is in that men's division? Who's going to beat Oba? They've got nobody in that division to beat Oba. And it's like you have a men's division that is just seems like it's scarce of any sort of competition for Obafemi, and everybody else is really vying for that North American Championship that is basically around every other male talent in NXT and whatnot. It's Javon, it's Ricky Saints, it's obviously Ethan Page the champion, it's Wesley, it's whoever else you want to mention is around that North American title picture, and no one else is around that NXT title picture because they got Trick over on TNA. So it's like, I don't know what to do here, So we'll see, man. We'll see. It has not been enjoyable for me as of late, because stuff just seems to be in the air too much over at NXT.
For those who are worried about Blake and them, I recently was reminded, if you go back and watch the NXT FCW tapes or whatever of Charlotte and Becky doing their promo, and Becky and Charlotte sounded like this. Oh my God! Like, did you see that? I'm gonna see that. Oh, that's what they did, and they thought that was gonna work for them. Listen, they've come a long way. Watch some of them tapes of them cutting promos, and even go back to when they were on TV cutting promos. Even go back to when Rhea Ripley was a blonde-haired uh, girl who just seemed like bland. They develop characters over time. They end up being to where they can fit themselves. As far as Ricky Saints goes, after that Cody interview, I got a feeling he ain't gonna stay there too long. Because Cody kept saying, "Oh, when you get called up," and then Ricky tried to correct him and was like, he's like, "No, when you get called up, I feel like it's gonna be soon." And Cody kept saying that, and Ricky was smiling, but he kept trying to correct him to like do the, "I don't know, but I," and then Ricky would catch himself and be like, "Well, I don't consider myself an NXT super. I consider myself a WWE superstar." They kept hinting at eventually, sometime soon, he gonna move out of this. And that's the moment I was like, okay, so then Ricky leaves. Who do we have left?
Yeah, but Dolores, and I want you to answer this on. I want you to answer this for me, from your perspective. Like, Ricky hasn't peaked on NXT, so why would he get called up to the WWE main roster? He hasn't even peaked in NXT yet. What kind of fanfare is he going to find on main roster if he doesn't even have that much fanfare on NXT?
But again, it's the fact that sometimes they did. We've seen them bring up people who ain't got no nut. What you call them, the party girls?
Yeah, and those girls, where those girls at now, Dolores?
That's what I'm saying. They've done it before. They've done it many, 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 many times before. And generally, what they'll do is bring up the person we don't want them to bring up, and leave the person that should have been there. Look how was it a year or two after they had brought everybody up, we were screaming, "When is Bianca coming up? When's she gonna get a chance? When she's gonna get an opportunity? When is she?" And we kept screaming, and they kept saying, "Nope."
Yeah, but
Nope,
by the
nope.
time she got to main roster, she was made. To your point, right? To your point, though, right? A lot of some people get rushed to the main roster, and a lot of those people, unfortunately, they end up getting released, right?
Yeah.
And for me, not saying that this is going to happen to Ricky, because Ricky's a talent at the end of the day. But if you're going to rush him up to the main roster and whatnot, it's like, if you can't make him be a pivotal top star on NXT TV, and I don't think he's even there yet, per se, it's like, to move him up to the main roster is just a disservice to him. I feel, and this, yet again, this is just coming from me, I feel like that's just setting him up to fail. It's like
that is setting him up to fail, but then you also have to realize that, I hate to say it, but NXT and them doing those shows out of the center
Mhm.
is doing them a disservice. Because if you ever go online and see them when they travel out,
Mhm.
they have better interactions, better responses, better crowd towards certain superstars outside of the PC.
Mhm.
You have a certain set of people who admit, if you ever been online, they continuously go week after week after week. They're a certain demographic. They don't understand half of that stuff, the whole swagger, the thing. They don't care about that. They want to see some high flying, some jumping, some new stuff. They don't care. They want the All American cheerleader, the All American this. They don't care about anything outside of that demographic. So you keeping them there with these people, yes, these people get to know them, they grow with them, but they don't appeal to anybody outside of their demographic. So you got these, I mean, I'm gonna be honest, older Caucasian people who are in the crowd, some black people who are used to a certain type of thing, and that's all they want. They come for that wrestling, and that's all they want. If it's outside of that, or you doing something outside of that, they don't care about it. That's why people like Blake Monroe down there, is because she fits in that certain thing that they like. They like a Charlotte, the blonde hair, blue eyed, whatever. And that's why a lot of them start off like that down in NXT, but don't stay like that. Stephanie, she got a rounding applause coming in, but every week we saw her, it was like they were quiet.
It's different with the likes of, and we'll get to it when we get to SmackDown. But you mentioned Stephanie Vaquer, that is. um like people you could just see the talent on the screen, right? It had nothing to do
Yeah.
with the promos. I would like to think that it had nothing to do with how she looks and things of that nature.
I mean, that devil's kiss. I mean, if I could do it, I would
but
too. Listen,
but at the end of the
we can
day,
do that.
but at the
And
end of the
Booker
day,
T hypes it up too.
she is a tremendous in-ring performer, and a lot of people do take to that as well. So that's what NXT was really grown on over the years and stuff like that. Not so much now, but over the years, it still has that hue to it at times. So that's why her fanfare skyrocketed her to the main roster as fast as they did. But yeah, I just don't know, man. It feels off right now with NXT. And yet again, I'm speaking for myself. It just feels a little bit off.
It
Uh,
is. It's
um,
very off.
like I said, I'm hitting that wait and see approach with Blake Monroe. I'm not hating and things of that nature. I was never her biggest fan on AEW, per se, because I didn't like her in-ring style. Her character work was always strong, but the in-ring stuff always fell flat for me with her. So and that seems to be the same thing that's happening for me watching her on NXT. The character shit, she can do whatever she wants with that, per se, because she has um very she's very charismatic and stuff like that. So that character trait's going to take her far when it comes to character work and things of that nature. So we'll see. It's really wait and see for me with Blake Monroe. And yeah, they just need to do better with the men's division, both the tags and the singles, and hopefully we get something better going there.
Yeah. As far as why, because most people don't know, if you watch the old podcast we were on, I was obsessed with Blake Monroe back in the day before she became Blake Monroe in Stardom. I just was like, I wanted to see her, and I wanted to see her in WWE first, but she went to AEW. I kind of enjoyed the character. If you've watched her since Stardom, she's improved in wrestling, because that she was mostly like the hot tag. She come in, she do two moves, she back on the outside. She did a lot of commentary. Her character was very well, but she didn't do nothing. I liked her character and the potential I saw. AEW stepped her up and made her wrestle a little bit more, but she still needs to grow in wrestling. I think we all weren't gonna say she's the greatest wrestler. She's not like Mercedes Monet or anything, but her character was good, and she's good when she's a heel. A good a good version of her is not good. It's like I can accept Charlotte now as a good character, because a good uh, a face, because I think she's grown as a woman and as a person. And you see her outside of social media being this person that, normally times I used to watch Charlotte's social media. She's just being an a-hole. I got money, you don't. That's what she was doing. But now that she's become a little bit more human, she's showing her hanging out with friends, having a good time. I can now accept her as a face. Now, when you talking about your jets and your fancy cars, and you talking about all the money and the Rolexes and all the rest of that, I ain't got no time for you. You ain't on my level. But now that she's being more human, talking about her divorces, talking about her life, talking about dating, it makes you want to be more personable, more friendly to her. Now she still shows off her fans to her expensive stuff, but it's more like, oh, this is what I'm wearing. Not that I bought this $5,000 Rolex and all the rest of that. So I can appreciate that. Hey, pretty heart conqueror, how you doing? So me and J News, we're gonna go way back in the playback. And we're gonna go to SmackDown, ladies and gentlemen. SmackDown was Friday on the 25th on the USA Network. Roxanne Perez defeated Alexa Bliss. Jade Cargill defeated Chelsea Green. Jacob Fatu defeated The Miz. And for the WWE Tag Team title match, Andrade and Ray Phoenix defeated the Wyatt Six, Dexter Loomis, Joe Gacy by DQ. J News, did you watch this? What did you think?
I did. They continue to further the storyline with Alexa Bliss and Charlotte. I like what they're doing. Like you said, um, it's refreshing to see Charlotte in a new light. From what I've understood over the last, I would say, month or two, I've been watching her on different podcasts and interviews and stuff like that. She's been fighting for this sort of exposure to be more relatable for years, and she's finally gotten the opportunity to do it. And not just for a short span of time. They're allowing it to breathe. And at this point, like you said, Dolores, she just seems more relatable. I've me personally, not personally knowing her, just understanding of how her relationships are outside of the ring and with other people. I've always known that she's very cared about. She's very well known, and people have good things to say about her, per se. So it's like, for me to finally be able to see this good character side of her on TV, like I said, it's refreshing. It's cool to see, making her more relatable to people. And she's always fought to be this, to have more of what she says, more of Ashley in the Charlotte character. So I'm happy to see that for her. Her and Alexa are a funny duo together. So I can appreciate how entertaining they've been together. So that's cool. I said this last week. I'll continue to bang this drum to the end of time. Jade Cargill does nothing for me at the end of the day. It is what it is. So her against Chelsea, I think that was more to play up what's been going on with the Secret Harvest girls, and them. They were also on Raw at one point.
This leads into what I think might be a match for SummerSlam. Because Jade told Cardi to call her. She's been beefing with Chelsea online. Cardi B and Chelsea have been beefing online. And then Naomi jumped in it, and then Cardi said, well, don't make me call Jade on you. Essentially, you don't got your ass kicked one time before. Don't make me get it happen again. And so now it seems like Jade is now beefing with Chelsea and the Hervis. And as far as what you mentioned about Charlotte, they are hilarious together. Because I don't know if you've seen the backstage Instagram she put up. Where she's like, Alexa's like, do it. And she's like, no. She's like, do it. She's like, no. She's like, do it. And then all of a sudden, Charlotte just does like the cheerleading shakes and like the little pose. And I was like, I never would have thought I would have ever saw Charlotte doing like cheerleading poses.
Yeah, she has a very playful side to her, and people don't get to, if people don't follow her on her TikToks or social media, folks don't necessarily ever get to see it on TV because they wanted to keep her so close to the Flair gimmick, and she wanted to get away from it. She's been wanting to get away from it from a long period of time, and she is more of a relatable character than her dad ever was at this point. So play on that, you know what I'm saying? So,
and it's gotta be hurtful that you go to work. And I could relate to her. She's had a lot of she's expressed personal relationships.
Mm-hmm.
She hasn't explained why her and Andrade broke up, but I'm assuming after she announced it that's a little kid that was within marriage age just does not help.
That's so complicated. I think her relationship with Manny, with Andrade, I think that has that was something that's hard for her to this day. That's hard for her to even talk about.
Yeah,
because I don't think it's something as generic as people want to make it out to be.
that's
Um,
a betrayal. If that's true, that's a betrayal in your marriage that you like. Man, she's been through a lot. She's expressed she's been through in past relationships, physical abuse and different things.
mhm.
And it's like, and now you have to come to work with your ex husband. That's kind of another thing that makes you be like,
Yeah,
I just want to, I
I'm
just
not
want to be
sure.
light and fun and free. I don't want to always be depressed and sad. It's it's like you walk as Charlotte, the character she used to be, an angry, snobbish person online,
Mhm.
and then it's like, if you want to personally change your life and be like, I want to be free, I want to be fun, I want to be me. What I would tell them, hey, I've been through a lot. You got my ex-husband working here. I just want to be me. Can you just give me just see if it works for a little bit, just a little bit,
Yeah,
because and she's mid, she was depressed and miserable. I'm miserable. I just want to be having a fun, good time.
yeah,
Let's just try for a little while. We always know we can go back to this if it doesn't work, but let's just try it out. And I appreciate that. And to know that she had started to have a bad reputation with some of the women behind the scenes was refreshing to see that she actually now gets along with Alexa. She's getting along with a lot of the women in the locker room. Some of the wives of the husbands, like Finn Balor. You know, like she's getting along with people and having a better relationship. Now, her and Becky, I don't know if they're gonna go back the same, but at least she's being able to reform or change what people thought of her, not only just in the public but in private.
yeah. I think that the WWE and the creative forces that be allowing her to be more of herself. Um, I think it's definitely a good thing. But yeah, hopefully, it continues to work and she's able to continue to show these flashes of playfulness and good naturedness and things of that nature. And she's just able to be much more different than what she has been for the last decade, and it just makes her more relatable to the fan base. So,
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to. Oh, you about to talk about the Jacob Fatu match?
not really. I'm not interested in that whole dynamic myself, to be quite honest, because they're still dealing with Jacob, still dealing with Solo and this makeshift
They
MTF
have a match at SummerSlam.
or whatever. Like, I'm over it, man. At this point, I just am. I'm over it. Like seeing Tongaloa and Hikuleo and Jeff Cobb there. It's like, yeah,
Do
yeah.
you think it's the leader that's the problem,
I'm,
or is
I'm,
this
I'm
the
just,
fact?
I'm just not sure. They just don't. For me, they don't fit the WWE build, and that's okay. But as I always like to say, I like to see my good brothers get paid. So go get your money, go get paid. It's just like from a level of like spotlight and importance to storylines and things of that nature. They it's easy to get lost in the fray because to I think to what you were gonna say, Solo's the main man, right? He's the main character in all this stuff. He's the leader. And it's him. It's really just Solo versus Jacob, and then they're just the extra guys, really. So I don't necessarily know. I don't have an interest there, and I never have an interest watching the Miz in anything. So that's
It's
always
like
me.
for me, it's the same storytelling over and over again. Like, okay, we went from Roman, the original bloodline breaking up because he was a tyrant. He went on a rampage. Then we had I don't forgot who we had next. Oh, and then Solo got turned on because he was being a tyrant, and Jacob had had about enough of serving him. And then now we got Solo being a tyrant, and we wonder who out of all of them going to turn on him. And it's like this is the same story, just over and over and over and over and over again. And it's like, what part of that? And then in the end, they all get back together. So what? At the end, like 3 years from now, they're gonna have a super faction of the bloodline. What are we doing? I'm tired of looking at this over and over again. If this is gonna be a feud between Jacob and Solo, let it be like that. We ain't always got to involve everybody and their mama. It's overkill at this point. Soon as I see them, and soon as I think Solo about to be beat, the first thing I say out my mouth is they about to come in, and then they do. So
Yeah,
WWE, you gotta do better.
uh, yeah. At the end of the day, there's just been a lot of it's just a lot of the same stuff, and I've just grown tired of it. And then the tag team stuff, uh, they've they've put together all the tag teams in the division, and they're gonna have uh, 6 teams in a TLC match at SummerSlam now,
Yes,
for the hell of it. So, and not to say that SmackDown isn't the better tag team division, because it is, but like they're trying to solve this problem by putting all the teams in this one match. It's gonna be a great big car wreck, and hopefully it goes off well and nobody ends up getting hurt. So there's that.
yes. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to go way back in the playback, and we're gonna get over to the next company, AEW All Elite Wrestling, for AEW Dynamite. Ladies and gentlemen, Dynamite 303 was on the 23rd on TBS slash HBO Max. That means they simulcast together. We had a non-title match where Adam Page defeated Willa Yuta. We for the AEW World Tag Team Title Eliminator Tournament quarterfinal match. Listen, Tony, stop with these long names. I'm telling you. FTR, which is Cash Wheeler and Dax Harwood, defeated Jet Speed of Kevin Knight and Mike Bailey. For the AEW Women's World Title Eliminator match, Tony Storm defeated Billy Starks. Swerve Strickland defeated Hechicero by DQ, and Mark Briscoe defeated Claudio Castagnoli. J News, did you watch this? What did you think?
Yeah, yeah. I thought it was another strong episode of Dynamite this week. Um, Hanger beating down Wheeler Yuta, and uh, busting him up, and making him realize that his homies in his faction aren't necessarily there for him when he needs them. He made Big Utes um, realize that, or maybe at least acknowledge that for a little bit of time there. So there might be a bigger story going into the future with Wheeler Yuta and the his faction. I'm forgetting the name of it right now for whatever reason. The Death Rider. Sorry. So Adam Page now is going to be having a rematch against um, against Mox this Wednesday on this week's Dynamite, because Moxley or challenged, or they're doing the rematch or whatever the case is for the championship. So we'll see that. The tag team eliminator tournament started. The eliminator tournament has started due to the fact that they don't really have any tag teams that are in contention with the Hurt Syndicate. So they're having this tournament in order to crown a new number one contender, and hopefully we'll get a good number one contender for the tag team titles coming at Forbidden Door. The women's world title eliminator match, Tony Storm defeated Billy Starks. I thought this was a very good match. It was a great showing for Big Bill, Big Billy Starks against Tony Storm. Athena was in the purview watching the match from the balcony, and then things broke down. And then we had Swerve ended up going into a match against Hechicero that ended in a DQ. That for me, the ending in the DQ part, especially when it comes to AEW matches and stuff like that, is I'm always taken aback by it, because AEW doesn't do that very often. So then for it to happen during a Swerve Strickland match, especially when it has to do with the Don Callis family and all that stuff, it makes sense, but I don't necessarily like it. By the end of the match, by the end of the match, we end up getting Okada coming out and blasting Swerve Strickland, And yeah, they're going to continue their feud. So we're probably going to see Okada versus Swerve Strickland at Forbidden Door. Mark Briscoe versus Claudio Castagnoli started out very slow, but by the end of the match,
Yes, real slow.
yeah, it started out real slow, but by the end of the match, it peaked. I think it's been a while since Mark and Claudio had gone one on one. So I feel like there was a good feeling each other out process between them one on one, because I know they've been involved with each other via tag matches
Yeah,
throughout the year,
I
but like
can remember
yeah.
them, or was it last year that they might have?
Yeah, because I know Mark Briscoe defeated Claudio for the ROH championship, but it's been a while since that. So I feel like there was,
Yeah,
at least the way they made it feel, it felt like a feeling out process between the two of them to begin the match, but they peaked. They were able to get the fans behind them and stuff like that. It was a strong match nonetheless. A lot of what the night brought to AEW fans was brought via the backstage interviews and the vignettes and things of that
promos. Yeah.
nature, and the promos and all that jazz. So folks should go out and seek them via your social media channels and stuff like that. Strong promos from the likes of MJF and the Hurt Syndicate. We saw Bobby hem up MJF against the Lockers because Bobby getting sick and tired of MJF shit. So we'll see how.
Oh, MJF's face. If I guess I should have grabbed that screenshot. When he looked like he was about to lose all his bodily fluids. That man had jacked him up like he was his child. I was like, yes, power to my people. There we go. Don't let MJF just come in. You know what MJF remind me of? You ever seen the movie Undercover Brother?
Yeah,
Yes, that was like MJF trying to go into the Hurt Syndicate. That's what it reminded me of. And I don't know why every time I see him, I think about Undercover Brother. It gets me all the time. The MJF gets to sneak his way into different places and then get caught and messed up, and then he's just hurt. Listen, if you all have not watched MJF, the MJF versus CM Punk match, was it All In or All Out, where he had to get the oxygen tank at the end?
all out. I think it was. Yeah,
Yes, I I can remember that match vividly because CM Punk was literally injured and hurt, and and MJF was over in the corner with an oxygen tank and a mask. It's like at a certain point, he needs to win like an Oscar or Emmy or something. He's out here giving you the best that he got,
yeah.
and I appreciate it. I love MJF. If I don't love anything about a lot of these things, I like Swerve. I like him in the ring. Outside the ring, I can do without. But I like Swerve. I like MJF. I like Hangman. Just done got a little old for me. Probably because he's a little older. He ain't the same Hangman he used to. Them buckshot lariats ain't always buckshotting. I need, I hate to say it, but Logan Paul has been doing it a little bit better than he has.
That is your personal opinion, and I highly disagree with you. So
You
we'll have.
know why I say that? Because sometimes Adam doesn't quite land on his feet right, and he stumbles into the lariat. Whereas Logan is young at this point, and so he can flip, land, and run at the same time. It's the disconnect sometimes with Adam Page, where it's almost like he's stumbling and he just happens to just clothesline.
I think you're mixing them up because Logan Paul has busted his ass doing
But
that.
he busted his butt the last time.
The-
Now I
the-
admit
that-
he
that-
busted his butt the last time. But the first few matches he had, or up until beginning of this year, he wasn't busting his butt. He was smooth with it. And then all of a sudden, he just started tearing it up. But I don't know if there's wear and tear on your knees.
It probably yeah, because at the end of the day, when you're landing that, it's impact on the knees at the end of the day, and he wears those pseudo cowboy wrestling boots and stuff like that, so that can't be comfortable at the end of the day. But I haven't reached that point where I've gotten tired of Hanger.
I want to have something major other than the buckshot lariat.
He has the dead eye, so he can
he has the dead eye, but
yeah.
Something else than that. Something, if you want something impactful, something else than that.
I mean, he does other moves relatively well as well. I like his version of the of the jumping DVD, his the
Yeah, I
Death
like
Valley
that one.
Palm, as it is. I like when he does that. So um, we'll see if he changes it. But I
The
think
Jedi is something I'd be concerned about.
yeah, that too, because he lands on his knees. So you know, we'll see how he works it out as he continues to get older. But for right now, I think he's fine. I was trying to remember one of the other promos that was cut during the night on Dynamite. I think there was a part there where they spoke about um damn, I'm trying to remember now. A lot of what happened on Dynamite is escaping me for whatever reason. So uh I'll leave it where it's at. I think they had John Moxley, that is, cut a promo during
Yeah.
Dynamite as well. I think that there was a placement issue with that promo. I think that promo was supposed to open the show, and then they put it in the middle of the show because if people notice watching that John Moxley promo, they put the card for the Adam Page versus Wheeler Yuta match coming on later in the night, and the match had already happened or whatever. So I think that particular
Yeah.
promo it was just bad placement on the show within itself. We did have Willow Nightingale cut a promo in the back, basically saying that she's moving past Chris Statlander and that she's setting her eyes on Tekla and the new women's faction that is the Triangle of Madness. Speak about them when we talk about Collision. And so we had that. Like the tag match, I thought was tremendous between Jet Speed and FTR. I thought everybody in that match did great. It seems like they're jockeying FTR to win this tournament, and probably end up having FTR create a new faction with MJF at the end of the day. By the time this is all said and done, and I think MJF is going to be a big reason as to why the Hurt Syndicate loses their AEW Tag Team Championships by the time Forbidden Door comes around. And then also we also had the Will Ospreay promo somewhere in the middle of the show. Will came out and he spoke to the fans, let them know that he's currently injured. He has an injury that is going to sideline him for a while. He says that he plans on, the hope is that for him to be back by Forbidden Door, but since it is a spinal cord injury, it affects his C2 and his C6. He's going to go through his rehab and they'll see as to where he's at by the time Forbidden Door comes around. I think it'll be a little bit longer than that. But we shall see how it all works out. But speedy recovery to Will Ospreay, who's one of the best in-ring performers in the current wrestling landscape. So there was that particular promo on Dynamite, and I'm probably forgetting other things too. But you know, there's all that of it, and like I said, it was a solid episode of Dynamite to continue on the road to Forbidden Door, and we'll see how it all shakes out.
To go back, because when we get to Collision, I want to talk about it. They did do a tribute on SmackDown. 10 bell salute, everything. The only thing I had a problem with is that they compared him being iconic to very prominent, iconic black figures. That's the only thing that took me out. Like they compared him to Muhammad Ali and Mike Tyson. And I was looking at him like, you couldn't find no other icons. Yeah, I just had to pick Tiger Woods too. They compared him to them.
Who did that?
On the Michael Cole on commentary.
Are you talking about SmackDown? Are you talking about SmackDown?
SmackDown.
Okay.
That's the only thing that I had an issue with. We could have did without that. You had did the 10 bell salute and all the rest of that. Could have just said he was an icon, kept it moving. We didn't have to go the extra mile. You said he was complicated and then compared him to 3 black icons. That's when I was like, y'all doing too much. I'm gonna wait and skip the rest. I only want to listen to commentary. I'm gonna mute it and just watch the rest of it. But ladies and gentlemen, surprisingly, Ring of Honor came on. When it came on, I didn't watch it. Okay. But we had the outrunners of put us back in the back. The Outrunners of Toy Boy Florida and Truth Magnum defeat the Workhorsemen of Anthony Henry and JD Drake. We had the Beast Mortos defeated Serpentico. We had the I'm gonna tell you in between because I wrote it down. The Dark Order, John Silver, Evil Uno, and Alex Reynolds cut a promo vowing to give their best when it comes for all the titles. They want to take all the titles now. Then we had a vignette where the feud between Athena and Tony Storm came on. We had the match of Trisha Dore defeating Aaliyah James. We had the career athletes, Mark Sterling, Tony Nese, and Ari Davari cut a promo calling the Sons of Texas, saying that no one could beat them. Okay, so premier athletes, I've seen them. They're claiming that they're coming for the tag team titles too. It seems like we have a lot of people coming for the Sons of Texas. Nick Wayne defeated Gringo Loco. I saw a short bit clip of that. I am sad that their their Gringo Loco got beat. If you know me, I'm a Gringo Loco fan, ladies and gentlemen. And so on J News, did you see any of this?
I wanted to ask you if you actually saw any of the matches on the show
I
because
just saw the Nick Wayne Gringo Loco clip because that's the only thing I was looking for.
Oh, okay. Because yeah, much like yourself, I'm a fan of Gringo Loco. I've been Gringo's been a part of the indie scene here in the U.S. for over a decade at this point. So always good to see him get more exposure, either it be on ROH. I know he's had a couple. He had a couple of matches when AEW Dark existed and things of that nature. This is not his first go around on ROH, but it's always good to see Gringo get more exposure. I was going to ask you if you saw the Trisha Dora match between her and Aaliyah James, because reason being, I've been a fan of Aaliyah James since she started her wrestling career. At this point, I think it was 6 years ago, back in the UK. She's from the UK. I think she's incredibly talented in the ring. She's also very athletic, so she lends a bit of a different style when it comes to her wrestling. But I haven't seen her ROH matches, and because Trish has just come back, I was wondering how the match went between her and Trish.
I didn't see that one because I've seen Aaliyah, and I think she's good, but not like I don't put her and Trish on the same level.
Hmm.
So if it had been like I love Trish's work, but at a certain point with ROH, I feel like they're punking her a little bit. She's not getting to show what she really can do, and she's getting matches, but it seems like these are matches that I'm like, oh, she gonna lose. And so when I see a lesser name on going against her, I know she's gonna win that match. But when it comes to like if it's her, Athena, her, or Queen Aminata or something like that, I'm like she's automatically gonna lose. So, and it breaks my heart that I've done her like that. But it's like they won't give her opportunity, and it's like at a certain point, what what else can she do? What else can she do? She's killing it. She's I've seen before she got into ROH doing it consistently, like being on ROH weekly. She was doing indies and killing it. But now she's on ROH. It's like she's stuck in this vortex of just losing. And then I hate to see the infantry losing. But then you don't put I forgot his name.
Who?
The homeboy that's with the infantry.
Well, Carly Bravo.
No. The big one he's not a part of the infantry. He's just with Trish.
Big Shane. Yeah. The leader. Yeah.
And then now you looped him into the losing group, and it's like I'm frustrated because I know they deserve better. They deserve at something and actually win it.
It's been very off and on with STP with Shane Taylor Promotions. So I agree with you. I definitely agree with you there. It's been very hot and cold with them. There have been times where on AEW TV they'd be on TV for like a good week or two between ROH and then Collision, and then they'd be having good matches. And then Shane Taylor's a good promo. Carly Bravo and Sean Dean are good hype guys, but they've also turned out to be a good tag team. To your point, Trisha Dora, she has a lot of talent. I've seen her in different matches, and I like her style. She's very hard hitting. I think she could probably lend to that division on the AEW women's side, where they have those hard hitting women, the Megan Baines and the Chris Stats of the world and all that stuff. I think she can lend to that particular part of the women's division there. But maybe maybe it's going to be some more season and some more time. I don't know. But I agree with you. I think they're doing SCP a bit of a disservice, being that they've been so hot and cold within the AEW realm and stuff like that. Yeah. So, but
I think that's just when it comes to Black talent, both promotions, I feel like they're not really getting the accolades they should. And it's like, give it to them. I don't know how many times I watched Queen Aminata be close to winning the ROH title and then not win it. And I'm like, at a certain point, she's been there. She shows she's good work. She's a good worker. Why not give her the title? Why not move Athena up? Why not? It's like we are, even Billy, move Billy up. Like, we need fresh blood, fresh new talent. And it just seems like you get to the door and they slam it in your face. And so I'm beginning to get frustrated about it. But, you can take your wins where you can. So I'm just glad that I get to see her. But I just hate to see her like this. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go on to the next show, which happened yesterday. It was, let's go back, AEW Collision. It happened on yesterday. They simulcast on TNT, HBO Max. AEW TNT title match. We had Dustin Rhodes defeat Lee Moriarty. We had for the AEW World Tag Team Title Eliminator Tournament quarterfinal match. I can take a breath. Bang Bang Gang, which is Austin Theory and Juice Robinson, defeated Big Bill and Brian Keith. Anthony Bowens defeated Max Caster. I'm tired of these 400, 500, 800, 1,000. I'm getting sick of these matches. 8-man tag match. The conglomeration, Hologram, Tomohiro Ishii, and the Outrunners of Truth Magnum and Torboy Floyd defeated the Don Callis family of Hechicero, Lance Archer, and they also defeated the infantry of Charlie Bravo and Sean Dean. We had the Triangle of Madness, with Julia Hart, Sky Blue, and Thekla defeated Laney Luck, Maserati, and Rachel Ellering. We had the Monarchy, Kip Sabian, Nick Wayne defeat Angelico and AR Fox. We had for the ROH Women's World Title match, Athena defeat Alex Windsor. Did you see this, J News, and what did you think?
Yep, I ended up watching this after the live feed went down. I wasn't watching this live as it aired on TV. Dustin Rhodes and Lee Moriarty told one hell of a story in that ring. Shouts to Dustin Rhodes and Lee Moriarty for putting on one hell of a match to start the Collision taping. The AEW World Tag Team Eliminator match between the Bang Bang Gang and Big Bill and Brian Keith. It was just a hard-hitting mess between everybody there, and the Bang Bang Gang was able to squeeze out a win on that. So they go on in the tournament there. It seems like Anthony Bowens is turning heel. He came out to answer Max Caster's call for his 5-minute challenge against the best wrestler alive for the second time. Anthony Bowens came out and he beat the crap out of Max Caster, and it took Billy Gunn taking Anthony Bowens, like literally ripping Anthony Bowens off of Max Caster, because Anthony Bowens, after the win, continued to attack Max Caster, and Billy Gunn physically removed Anthony Bowens. Anthony Bowens was looking at Billy Gunn harshly as Billy Gunn was just checking on Max Caster, but Anthony Bowens did not do anything to Billy Gunn. Anthony Bowens left the ring pissed off and walked up the rampway, basically mouthing some stuff there towards Billy Gunn and Max Caster. So it seems that they've turned Anthony Bowens into a heel. He's gonna have he's definitely has now a split with Billy Gunn, and we'll see where this takes Max Caster. The 8-man tag match, I think this was used the $400,000 money, the money winning matches, to Dolores' point. I think having them so often at this point is just running dry. And there's just too many of those matches going down, and they don't really have any sort of depth.
We know they ain't winning that much money. Now, if they were, I would be like, have it. But you know they ain't winning this money.
Because the thing about it is that, you know, online on their social medias, the wrestlers will play up what they're going to do with this money, but we never necessarily see any sort of follow up to it on TV. So like, it's to the point that you're making and the point that I'm making, there's no real depth to that, to anybody winning any of these big money things, because they're not doing anything with them from a character standpoint or from a storyline standpoint. So it's like, it's just matches for the sake of having matches without the money meaning anything. So it's like, if you're gonna make the money a part of the winnings a part of the match, make it mean something. You know, drive a story with it, and they haven't done that. So I think that's been a missed opportunity on AEW's part there. Good showing for the girls in the Triangle of Madness, I think. Dope combo move between Julia Hart and Sky Blue to finish the match, along with Thekla there. They defeated some long-standing indie lady wrestlers and Laney Luck and Maserati and Rachel Ellering. Rachel, I think, is the only one who still has her AEW/ROH deal. But Lady Luck's been on the indies for years, and so has Maserati. So it was cool to see them on AEW TV.
Now, I didn't watch this match, and I know the Maserati I'm thinking about. Is that the same Maserati? Okay, black lady, like different color hair.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the one. If you all have watched me long enough, that when we do watch-alongs with her matches, her wig begins to slip off.
Right.
Just completely slip off. Yes. Yeah. I don't know if that's a part of the bit now, but over the years I watched her wig slip off so many times. At first, she looked shocked. Now it looks like it's a part of her bit.
Yeah, it's part of the bit. But yeah, same lady. Then we had the boys are still workshopping names. It's not the matriarchy. So Kip Sabian and Nick Wayne, they're with Mother Wayne. For the first, there was a backstage
promo. Mother Wayne looks good. Listen,
I mean, Mother at the end of the day, you know, Mother Wayne's Mother Wayne. But
I mean, her son is getting older, but she's getting younger. I don't know what she's doing. Mother Wayne.
AR Fox was in so to set this up correctly, the boys of their group, Kip Sabian and Nick Wayne, along with Mother Wayne, were having a backstage promo, and I believe it was Lexi who was holding the mic. The three of them were there. AR Fox walks into the promo, tells Nick Wayne and Kip Sabian, he challenges them. He says he's going to get a partner. He challenges them. Nick Wayne says, I'm good on you. But the thing that popped out to me the most about that interaction was that AR Fox gave the head nod to Mother Wayne, and he said, "What's up, Shayna?" Like something's going down there. So I'm not sure if they're giving AR Fox
like he know her. Like
yeah. I'm not sure if they're giving AR Fox any leeway there. But hey.
As we all know, as a set of people, we like to mother, miss, Mrs. When you're personable, you call somebody by their name.
Right.
So he's like, Shayna, I just broke you off yesterday. You know how it is.
But Nick Wayne had a negative response to that from what AR Fox was calling her by her name.
When you put yourself in your predicament. Nobody takes you serious, but everybody wants your mama, so they're your friend.
But hey, listen, at the end of the day, if it works for a longer for me, in the sense of the grander scope of things, if it works for a grander scope of things, where AR Fox finally gets something that he can sink his teeth into after all this time of being with AEW, I'm all for it. And it gives Nick Wayne something different to do outside of whenever they decide to bring Christian back to TV. I'm all for that, especially when it comes to Fox and stuff like that. It was good to see Angelico on AEW TV. I've been
We
a
see
fan
him
of
all
his.
the time. He just getting beat.
Yeah, but he's usually on ROH. So
I've seen him. He's had a couple of matches this year, but it's just like he get beat.
yeah, but
He's
he's still one of my
he's the Rocky Romero of AEW.
yeah. I mean Rocky's still Rocky, but
Rocky always gonna be looking at the lights
yeah,
unless somebody lesser than him is on the other side, then he'll win.
Right. But Angelico still looking great, still moving well, and things of that nature after all the injuries he's had in the last couple of years and all that jazz. And definitely one of my favorites from the Lucha Underground days. I thought about it just watching him wrestle during this match, and I was like, how cool would it be? And this is just me personally talking from my own brain. How cool would it be if Angelico had a one-on-one match versus Zack Sabre Jr. because of their relative styles of chain wrestling and technical wrestling? I would want to see that somewhere down the road, if possible, or whatever. Where
in the past few years, they haven't had one in the past.
I have no idea. I don't recall. So for me, it's like that's something that I would want to watch. But I'm just putting that out there. And then to end the night, we had Athena versus Alex Windsor. I thought that the ladies put on a hell of a match. They beat the crap out of each other like I thought they would. Athena obviously wins the match. She retains her championship, but it was a match to really put a spotlight on Alex Windsor, and they were able to do that well. Not that the match that Alex Windsor had the previous week on Collision versus Taya Valkyrie was a bad match, because it wasn't. But this definitely spotlighted Alex Windsor a little bit more. And good on them for doing that. Post match, Billy and Athena started to beat on Alex Windsor, and then Toni Storm comes out for the save. Toni Storm and Alex Windsor know each other. I don't necessarily want to sit here and say they're friendly per se. They weren't a part of the same. I think Toni was a couple of years older than Alex Windsor during Windsor's time in Stardom. And Toni had then left to the WWE. I know they're friendly, but the bigger relationship between the women on the AEW roster is really between Windsor and Jamie Hayter. And Jamie Hayter's she's still away due to concussion stuff or whatever the case is. So hopefully she gets back soon.
I think there's so many injuries in AEW.
Somebody listed them online yesterday. There's a whole roster of people who are either injured and or inactive currently, and it's scary how deep that roster is. But they'll never have that full complement of talent available to them, just with how the varying degrees of injury and things of that nature and inactivity that goes down. So but I really wanted to highlight the ladies here. They did the damn thing. We had an interesting promo backstage between Chris Statlander and Renee Paquette. I think this is and I don't want to cut her short because I'm a big fan of Chris Statlander. But to me, this was the second.
That was dry.
No, well, to you that might have been dry, but to me, this was the second time where I felt like she popped on screen during a solo promo bit. The only other time that Chris has ever popped on screen during a solo promo bit is when she squatted Renee while doing a promo. Yeah. So this was
that was kind of corny because it's like when I mean dry, meaning like it's like me if I got on here and I was like, "Hey y'all, welcome to the Hit the Roast podcast. Today y'all would be like, what is wrong with her? I'm not even watch that." That's what she does every interview. It's like she has no interest in doing it, and we just there because she does so she don't get fined. And it's like it makes me not want to watch it. Now, when she was back doing the alien gimmick, I was still not interested, but I at least found some of the stuff she said was funny. The booping and all the rest of that is a little bit cute. Now she done take that one little thing I was interested in and just made it to where And plus, she was like in a dog. It seemed like it was dog room. Just and it was like, okay, I don't want to see this. And it took me out. Yes, she did that one little pop, cool, but overall, her whole, it just don't know what her character is now. I don't. She went from being an alien to now she human, and as a human, I don't like. I just don't like. Her wrestling is good. Her promos are bad, and I don't know where to find the in between. I don't know what she could do to make it in between because even when she wasn't speaking as the alien, she still had some charisma that came across. Now it's this whole deadpan in the camera and just standing there like she's a zombie, and I can't do that. I need a little bit more. I can deal with Mercedes other than her dancing, but this is a lot. Also, if you didn't go back and check it out, we didn't talk about it, so that's why I didn't review about it. But wasn't it Stardom? Yeah, I think it was Stardom that I saw that Mercedes match from this week.
No, it was Rev Pro UK.
Rev Pro, that's what it was. I
Her
saw that match
Mercedes
online.
Versus Sapphire Reed. I heard it went. I heard it went well for both ladies, and they had.
Yeah, I saw the video of it and it was really good. But I know we hadn't previewed it, so that's why I didn't review it. But I need to get back to that because I love watching Rev Pro. Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna go way back to the playback because we're on to TNA. Ladies and gentlemen, total nonstop action. 1096 on the 17th on Access TV. Mara Sade, I think that's how you pronounce it. I was sleeping through this.
Yeah, I'm
And
not
the
sure how you pronounce it. I'm not sure how you say it. I thought it was Mara Sade, but
Sunday,
yeah. So we'll see.
maybe J News is right because I listen. I generally can see these results because they plan ahead of time, and it pretty much tells me if I really want to watch this or not. And after seeing this, I really did not want to watch this because I was just wanting to watch Anniversary. That was it. And the inspiration of Cassie Lee and Jesse McKay defeated the Elegance brand, Ash by Elegance, Heather by Elegance, and M by Elegance. This Elegance stuff is killing me. No disqualification match. Jake Something defeated Mance Warner. The Great Hands, Jason Hodge and John Schuyler defeated Brian Myers and Matt Cardona. And Mike Santana defeated Joe Hendry. Ladies, Jay News, did you watch any of this?
No.
Yeah, listen, I didn't either. Uh, on to TNA Slammiversary. Ladies and gentlemen, Slammiversary was on the 20th on Triller TV and your pay-per-view provider. We have the pre-show where the TNA Knockouts World Tag Team Title match happened. The Elegance brand, Ash by Elegance, Heather by Elegance, uh, defeated the inspiration of Cassie Lee and Jesse McKay. The hometown man defeated. I'm sorry. The hometown man defeated Eric Young. Yes, that's his name. Josh Bishop, real one, and Zilla Fatu defeated Jake Something, Mance Warner, and Steve Macklin. On to the main show. We had Mustafa Ali defeat Cedric Alexander. Matt Cardona and the System defeated Dark State of Cutler James, Deion Lennox, Osiris Griffin, and Shaquan Sugars. Indy Hartwell defeated TB. TNA Knockouts World title versus the NXT Women's title winner takes all match. JC James is now the NXT and TNA champion. TNA X Division match. Leon Slater defeated Moose. TNA Tag Team Title 4-Way Ladder match. The Hardys defeated the Nemesis, First Class, and the Rascals to win. TNA Title 3-Way match. Trick Williams kept the TNA title by defending Joe Hendry and Mike Santana. Did you watch this, J News, and what did you think?
Uh, bits. I've got bits. I did not watch the show. I just want to say something positive about TNA. Shouts to TNA for having their biggest U.S. crowd ever in history. There at the UBS Arena in Long Island, they had over 7,000 people paid to get in to watch their show. That is a big thing. That has a sensibility of saying that wrestling is strong right now here in the U.S. and people are definitely looking to go out and watch wrestling shows. So shouts to TNA for having their biggest crowd on U.S. soil after 23 years of being in existence. So that's a positive for them. Outside of that, for those who don't get the running joke, the hometown man, aka Matt Cardona, was part of the pre-show for this particular event, which I did not understand. Oh no, I'm sorry. Matt Cardona was during was on the main show. The hometown man was one of the he's a student of Brian
Yeah.
Myers. Of Brian Myers. And they from what's the creative wrestler? That's the name of the company. Um he's one of
It got me that they what killed me was that they didn't even get a homeboy. They were just the running jokers. They keep calling that person the hometown man, but it's the fact that they don't even give out the like real name. They just call like this is your one shot to
yeah
get to be on TV, and you don't even get a chance to even get your name out there. You are just a hometown man.
yeah
That's what gets me every time it happens.
yeah
It's
it
like
does.
you don't even get a, it's unless you watch social media, do you find out who it is? But on the broadcast, y'all could at least just get that man a little running across the screen real quick, something. Y'all were just like,
Yeah,
you got this shot. That's it.
he's a graduate of the Creative Pro wrestling school out in Long Island. Who that's headed up by Jack Buck and Brian Myers. Shouts to Fourth Rope Wrestling, I guess, for having some exposure here on TNA TV. I
Oh,
guess
please don't, please don't.
shouts to them on that or
Mm,
whatever. Um,
mm-mm.
from what I understood, Dolores, I could be wrong, but from what I understood, it seems that Cedric Alexander came into TNA to only do this program with Mustafa Ali. Like he's done with TNA already.
That's what they say,
Yeah,
but
I
it
don't
could
get
be.
that.
They
I'm not sure.
could be open to working with him some more,
Yeah.
being that they have the WWE TNA relationship.
Mhm.
Um, as far as four ropes go,
Yeah.
I love uh the real one. He calls himself now. Uh, and you can't teach that. Uh, and for those who like Dolores, he has listen. That man wasn't found guilty or nothing. Whatever. Now can he? I say he's done some stupid stuff. Yes, but has he done anything where he's went to jail for? No. Has he got caught saying some stuff? No. But he just can do stupid stuff. Zilla Fatu, I'm glad he got an opportunity for people other than the indies can see him. Also, I'm letting him stop taking his cousin stuff and throwing up the one like he a part of the bloodline.
Yeah.
But as far as fourth rope wrestling, if you go back, which I hope you don't, I really truly hope you don't, go back and watch For the Culture for FOUR. You'll understand why I have a problem with fourth rope. First of all, it is headed up by MVP, uh, who came out to rap and sing down to the beginning of the ring. First of all, they were already like an hour late. Then they come out there with the Hurt Syndicate MVP to rap with what's the dude that sings the Swerve song? He was
Uh,
out there too.
what the hell, man? I forget what the dude's name
Harvey
is.
or Swerve, something like that. And then he comes out there, and they out
Flash
there rap.
Garments. Flash
Yeah, Flash
Garments.
Garment. Then they with MVP out there rapping. Then they said, "Welcome to fourth row." Then it took them about another 30 minutes. Then we had, and it's like the what should have been an hour to 2 hour show turned to like 4 or 5 hours of nonstop BS. Then they had a middle of the thing. They had a concert to put up the cage match. Then you had them getting mad at the cage people walking past them to put the cage up because they were interrupting the rap show that they were having. It was a cluster. It made listen. It was supposed to be made like FUBU, made for us by us, okay? But instead, made us look bad. And I said, anytime I see fourth row appear up on my screen, I'm gonna immediately shut my computer off. And
I've um
I
I've
can't
always
do it.
I've always been of a very particular opinion when it comes to rap music and professional wrestling. I understand that there is a certain part of the fan base that uh, that feels like rap and hip hop has its place as a fusion, right? Um, and I don't feel like they're wrong about it. I just feel like it's never been executed correctly. That's
Mm-mm.
that's what I feel.
It
Um,
hasn't.
and,
It
and
hasn't.
and it hasn't been executed correctly at any point in time. Even when some of my favorite acts, like Swerve, for example, right? When they tried doing the live performance with like taking him to the ring and everything else in
Mm-mm.
between, it just, for whatever it's worth, the execution of when rap music meets wrestling on live TV, and I'm speaking for myself, has never worked. We even got that during All In, when not All In, whatever show it was, where MVP was rapping uh, freaking the Hurt Syndicate down, and yeah, it was All In. It was him, West Side
Yeah,
Gun.
he rapped on the fourth rope show that they had
Yeah,
before the culture. I
and
swear to God, that don't never work. It don't never work. It
it
don't never work.
never, it doesn't work, guys. It's like from an all out performance standpoint, if y'all don't have a good stage show, right? And there's only certain rappers in hip hop history.
I think Cardi B can do it on Saturday
No,
because she
um,
dances and
no,
dances and raps at the same time.
no.
She got enough control, and she's been. If you ever watch her social media, she can actually rap while going into a complete split and getting back up. I
Um,
can't even get down to the ground without having problems breathing, getting back up.
it's
So
something to do with cadence, with energy, with the performance aspect of how the majority, not all, of how the majority of rappers perform on stage and things of that nature. I've said this since the beginning because I've been a proponent of hip hop as a culture, as rap, as a music for as long as I've been born. And there's only certain acts that really get you hyped to go out and watch them perform, and that's not the majority of rappers at the end of the day. And there's only a few in the history of its art form that have been able to have people gravitate to just go watch them at a show or watch them perform because they're that good to watch perform. And it hasn't, that link, that bridge has yet to be built between wrestling and rap. I just haven't seen it. I haven't experienced it.
yeah, I do admit the closest she did pretty good because she sounds like a record. Is the girl who rapped? I forgot her name. Rapped Jade down to the ring that time because she sounds exactly like the rap on the album, and she came. She was the closest. Yeah, Jade
Huh?
kind of stumbled towards the end. You remember Jade came down and the girl was rapping, and
Nah.
Jade was
If
doing
it
the
if it
AKA
if
down stroll down to the ring.
if it's forgettable, then no, no,
No,
no.
well, I didn't forget because, but no offense, you probably wouldn't have cared because it was a song heavily dependent on women telling men, screw them. And so you probably wouldn't have cared about the song. But as me as the person who listens to the song, she rapped on beat to the song. And then Jade came down strolling with the AKA and the AKA jacket doing the AKA stroll when she did the little thing she spent around.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I remember that. I remember what you're talking about, and even because that was during her AEW run,
yeah.
and I remember during that show, I was like, why didn't this come off as big of a deal as I thought it should have been? Was my
Because
thought process
again,
of
it
marketing.
was catering to an audience that if you are a male who doesn't listen to that kind of female
No, no, no.
driven map.
I'm just talking about her the way because I've always been a big proponent, not a big proponent, but I've always liked watching um the band face offs with the HBCUs and things of that nature. I thought
Uh-huh.
they were going to bring that vibe to her entrance, right?
Oh no, 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 no. Because at the time, I think that at the time the AKAs were using that song very heavily. And
Mm,
so that's why she strolled to it. Because they stroll to different songs. They don't
right,
always do
right,
like
right, right,
big
right.
bands and stuff.
Mhm.
And so that's why she chose it. And it's not Big Bank Road. I forgot what her name is. But as soon as she came out, I knew the song. If you ever go back to Workers Wrestling, I was screaming and rapping the song because I knew it, and I also knew the stroll. And so when she came out and started doing it, I was like, oh my God. But some things don't hit the same. Just like when Bianca comes out and she does the HBCU, I'm screaming along with the other people who are with me. But if you ask some other people who don't know about HBCUs or know about the bands or don't know about the song, to them it's like,
Yeah,
I don't know what she doing this for.
I felt like the because and it shows the difference in production values between the companies because when they've had Bianca do something similar, right? Like from a
Mhm.
production standpoint, it seems like a much more livelier thing. It seems like something that's more interactive when Bianca does it. But then when they did for whatever reason, and yet again I'm speaking for myself, when AEW tried to do it for Jade, it didn't come off
Yeah,
the way
it didn't because it was a
it was
small
supposed to.
round, a small amount of people.
Yeah.
It wasn't a big like Hollywood production. Even with the last time, Bianca always does something that afterwards you find out is a little bit heartfelt to her. So I think that's why she puts a lot of effort into it. If you all remember the first time the little girl had lost her mom, and that's what happened this year when she had the WrestleMania entrance, her her Montez's daughter was in it. And so that was the heartfelt connection. And then they showed behind the scenes stuff where, she was trying to like make sure she was calm, make sure she had everything together, like practicing with her.
Oh, I
Those are
think
the things. I think she comes from the heart and it's a big production. Did he freeze?
well, I think we froze Dolores.
Oh, there
Yeah.
you go. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna go way back because I'm gonna need J News when we get to the previews, ladies and gentlemen. But next up, yesterday, it was the downtown showdown for Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling. And ladies and gentlemen, I can't tell you how I found it, but I found it. El Reverso defeated Johnny DeLuca. We had Taylor Rising defeating Wanda Del Rey. Bhupinder Gujar, defeated Chris Chambers for the PWA Champions Grail title match. Roheen Raja defeated Psycho Mike. Ace Austin defeated Brent Banks. For the MLP Women's Canadian title match, Giselle Shaw defeated Bia Moss. And for the last match, we had the Good Brothers. Yes, I said the Good Brothers of Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson defeat Bryce Henson and Sheldon Jean. Jay News, did you happen to watch any of this?
No, I wasn't even aware that MLP was having a show yesterday. Um,
Yeah, last week that was the last one we went to, but they didn't have any matches listed, so we didn't go over it.
they when they've done their first couple of shows, they had done a better job of promoting the shows.
Yeah,
This did not come up on my timeline at all, and I completely forgot that we previewed this. But just to say a couple of different things, um, Ace Austin has been a free agent for the last month or so since leaving TNA. I am very surprised that a international or bigger wrestling company has yet to scoop him up. I think Ace Austin's a hell of a talent. So I wanted to draw attention to Ace Austin. And also, this is the second time I've heard of the Good Brothers having an MLP match. And this is also the second time that I've seen the Good Brothers even have a match outside of what they did with New Japan here in the States a couple of months ago. I thought that the Good Brothers were going to be a bit busier after their WWE releases, but they haven't necessarily been in the wrestling zeitgeist. But maybe this is a start of them, revving up the engines again. But outside of that, I don't know who the majority of these wrestlers and talents are, and I did not watch any of this show.
Um, I think Ace Austin, was it Ace Austin or somebody else that I mentioned? We were talking about the storyline, not with who he was dating or something like that. So maybe he just wants to. He's been doing a lot of indie work, so maybe he's just enjoying that for right now. As far as the Good Brothers, they have a bad reputation of being lazy. So maybe that's what's preventing people from hiring them constantly. I mean, they made their money. Now it's time for them to maybe sit back and just do the greatest hits. Ladies and gentlemen, we're on to New Japan Pro Wrestling, G1 Climax 35. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the participants. In Block A, you have Hiroki Goto, Oleg Boltin, Yuya Uemura, Yota Tsuji, David Finlay, Evil, Sonata, Hiroshi Tanahashi, Callum Newman, Jorge Oyoa. I know his last name, the first name, fight me. B block participants El Phantasmo, Shota Umino, Shingo Takagi, Zack Sabre Jr., Great Khan, Gabe Kidd, Ren Narita, Konosuke Takeshita, Joe Maloney, Yoshihashi. The rules of the G1 is in the middle. If you win, you get 2 points. If you draw, you get one. If you lose, you don't get that. And the rest of it you can see on the graphic here. But let's go to day two.
Day two was last Sunday. We had both blocks in action. Callum Newman defeated Hiroshi Tanahashi. Drilla Maloney defeated Shota Umino. Oleg Boltin defeated Ryohei Oiwa. Yoshihashi defeated Ren Narita. David Finlay, along with Gato, defeated Sonata. Great Khan defeated Shingo Takagi, who was flanked by Daiki Nagai. Evil with Dick Togo and Don Fale. Fale making his return to New Japan streaming business after the unfortunate passing of a family member. Evil defeated Yota Tsuji. El Phantasmo, along with Jado, defeated Konosuke Takeshita, who was flanked by Rocky Romero. And then we had Tai Chi defeat Yuya Uemura. To mention something before we go on to the next date here, I wanted to say this before we got to the actual date, but as of yesterday, officially, Gabe Kidd is no longer in the G1 Climax. He has forfeited his position in the G1 due to that knee injury he spoke about on this show on the 20th. He thought it was going to be a short-lived injury, but unfortunately, he's not going to be cleared for the rest of the G1. So on to the next show. For the 22nd, we had this was live on NJPW World. We had some tag matches to start off the show. The Bullet Club War Dogs, Drilla Maloney, and Taiji Ishimori defeated Shomakato and Yoshihashi. House of Torture members Ren Narita and Yoshinobu Kanemaru defeated El Phantasmo and Jado. The Don Callis family members Konosuke Takeshita and Rocky Romero defeated United Empire members the Great O'Connor and Jacob Austin Young. TMDK's Hartley Jackson and Zack Sabre Jr. defeated Katsuya Murashima and Shota Umino. We then had the A block matches. We had Ryohei Oiwa defeat Callum Newman. We then had Oleg Boltin defeat Hiroshi Tanahashi. Sonata defeated Evil with 2 points. Tai Chi defeated David Finlay. And then we had Yota Tsuji defeating Yuya Uemura. And that rounded out the A block there. On to the 25th. The 23rd. This was the B Block Day. Oleg Boltin and Toriano defeated House of Torture members Sonata and Yoshinobu Kanemaru. United Empire members Callum Newman and Jacob Austin Young defeated Sho Makato and Yuya Uemura. House of Torture members Dick Togo and Evil defeated Masatori Yasuda and Tai Chi. TMDK members Hartley Jackson and Ryohei Oiwa defeated Daiki Nagai and Yota Tsuji. Hiroshi Tanahashi and Katsuyori Murashima defeated Bullet Club War Dog members David Finley and Gato. B Block action. Yoshihashi defeated Drilla Maloney. Ren Narita defeated El Phantasmo. Konosuke Takeshita defeated the Great Okan. And Shota Umino defeated Zack Sabre Jr. To get his win back from earlier in the year. We then had the matches on the 25th. This was another A Block Day. United Empire's Great Okan and Jacob Austin Young defeated Sho Makato and Yoshihashi. El Phantasmo and Jado defeated TMDK's Hartley Jackson and Zack Sabre Jr. House of Torture members Ren Narita and Yoshinobu Kanemaru defeated Shota Umino and Tomoaki Hanma. The Don Callis family, Konosuke Takeshita and Rocky Romero defeated Daiki Nagai and Shingo Takagi of the Unaffiliated. The A Block continued. Oleg Boltin defeated Sonata. Yuya Uemura defeated Callum Newman. Evil with Dick Togo defeated Tai Chi, who was being flanked by Masatori Yasuda. Yota Tsuji defeated Ryohei Oiwa, and Hiroshi Tanahashi defeated David Finley. On to the 26th, which was yesterday. We had a Block B match. Drilla Maloney got the points given to him, being that Gabe Kidd is forfeiting the rest of his G1 matches. Oleg Boltin and Toriano defeated Daiki Nagai and Yota Tsuji. United Empire members Callum Newman and Jacob Austin Young defeated Bullet Club War Dog members David Finley and Gato. House of Torture members Sonata and Yoshinobu Kanemaru defeated Masatori Yasuda and Tai Chi. House of Torture members Dick Togo and Evil defeated Tomoaki Hanma and Yuya Uemura. And then TMDK members Hartley Jackson and Ryohei Oiwa defeated Hiroshi Tanahashi and Katsuyori Murashima. B Block action. The Great Okan defeated Yoshihashi with his first loss. Zack Sabre Jr. defeated El Phantasmo. Ren Narita defeated Shota Umino, and Konosuke Takeshita, in the best match of the tournament so far, defeated Shingo Takagi. On to the previews, folks.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's preview time. Preview time. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna let you and J News know. When it comes to the GCW, where you start seeing Japan, they're in Japan for 3 days. Some of these names I was fighting for my life, J. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to start off with Progress. It's Progress, chapter 182. Stay humble, okay? It is going to take place on the 27th on Trello TV. We have Lana Austin versus Sessions Martina. We have Charlie Sterling versus Cara Noir. We have Adam Max versus Tate Mayfairs. We have for the Progress Protus title #1 contendership match, Simon Miller versus Charles Crowley. We have for the Progress Women's title triple threat match, Rio versus Kanji and Rainy Leverkusen.
Rain Leverkusen.
See, this is why you need J News around. We have a Progress World title tables match, Alex Tischer versus Mike DiVecchio. Mike is a character. New Japan Pro Wrestling, G1 Climax.
All right, folks. So this happened this morning, but these are just the matches. Shimakato and Yoshihashi are going to go up against Bullet Club War Dogs, variation of Gato, and probably another member of the War Dogs there. El Phantasmo and Jado are going to go up against United Empire members Great Okan and Jacob Austin Young. Katsuyori Murashima and Sho Makato and Shota Umino, are going to go up against Daiki Nagai and Shingo Takagi. House of Torture members Ren Narita and Yoshinobu Kanemaru are going to go up against. Hold on a second here. So it'll be another Bullet Club War Dog match against HOT. TMDK members Hartley Jackson and Zack Sabre Jr. are going to go up against the Don Callis family of Konosuke Takeshita and Rocky Romero. This is Block A Day. So we have Yota Tsuji versus Oleg Boltin, David Finley versus Callum Newman, Tai Chi versus Sonata, Evil versus Yuya Uemura, and Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Ryohei Oiwa.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen. On to the next one. It is GCW. GCW's first show will be Japan. Okay, it's Super Crazy versus Matt Tremont.
That's the first match. And then it's Kikutaro.
Yes, versus Microman. Yeah, 2 for 2 versus Tall Man. Drew Parker versus Shotzi Blackheart. Mal versus Atticus Cougar. I was like, once I saw that name, I was like, J News is gonna have to help me. I'm fighting for my life. Ladies and gentlemen, we have on the 29th on Triller TV, they have a show in Japan. It's Super Crazy and YDMP, which is Alex Price and Jordan Oliver versus Dark Sheet of Masha Slamovich and Dark Sheet, Masha Slamovich and Shotzi Blackheart. We have
It's
Takeda.
Masaya Takeda.
Takeda, I knew the last name, first name fight. Versus Matt Tremont. We have Drew Parker versus Atticus Cougar. We have Hiroshita.
Hideyoshi Kamitani.
See, listen, that's why J News is here because I am not fighting with that name. Versus Manders, and we have a GCW World Title match: Effie versus Kobayashi.
Kobayashi, yeah. Abdullah Kobayashi.
I see. I would have got that right. Ladies and gentlemen, we have another show in Japan. It's on the 30th. We have Shotzi Blackheart versus Maki Ito. We have June
Akiyama. The legend.
Akiyama. Yes, I can never pronounce his last name right. Versus Manders, Chris Brooks versus Drew Parker. For the GCW Tag Team title match, we have YDMP, which is Alex Price, Jordan Oliver versus Masha Slamovich and Rina Yamashita. We have GCW World title match, Effie versus Matt Tremont. On to New Japan Pro Wrestling, G1 Climax 35.
These are the matches going down on the 30th. We have Daiki Nagai and Yota Tsuji going up against Masatori Yasuda and Tai Chi. Hiroshi Tanahashi and Katsuya Murashima go up against Shomakato and Yuya Uemura. United Empire members Callum Newman and Jacob Austin Young going up against House of Torture members Sanada and Yoshinobu Kanemaru. House of Torture members Dick Togo and Evil going up against TMDK members Hartley Jackson and Ryohei Oiwa. And then we have Ole Bolton and Toriano going up against Bullet Club War Dog members David Finley and Gato. On to Block B. Yoshihashi will get the 2 points here. Being that Gabe Kidd's got a forfeit. El Phantasmo is going up against Great Okan, Drilla Maloney versus Ren Narita, Shingo Takagi versus Shota Umino, and Zack Sabre Jr. versus Konosuke Takeshita. On to the 1st of August, Shomakato and Yoshihashi are going to go up against Katsuya Murashima and Shota Umino. We then have Bullet Club War Dog members Drilla Maloney and Taiji Ishimori going up against Stalin Callis family members Konosuke Takeshita and Rocky Romero. El Phantasmo and Jado are going to go up against Daiki Nagai and Shingo Takagi. House of Torture members Ren Narita and Yoshinobu Kanemaru are going to go up against Bullet Club War Dog members Gato and whoever they fill in there. United Empire, it's Great Okan and Jacob Austin Young are going to go up against TMDK's Hartley Jackson and Zack Sabre Jr. Block A action, Sonata versus Callum Newman, Evil versus Ryohei Oiwa, David Finley versus Oleg Bolton, Tai Chi versus Yota Tsuji, and then Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Yuya Uemura.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're on to GCW, my favorite place to go. And it's hit them up, ladies and gentlemen. You gotta hit them. Oh, listen, don't make me start. Don't make me start. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Mans Warner versus Bear Bronson. We have a death match with Dr. Redacted versus Slade. We have Team Cardona, Matt Sterling, Matt Cardona, and Tommy Invincible versus Team Shotzi, two unknown people, and Shotzi Blackheart. We have Marcus Mathers and YDNP, which is Alex Price and Jordan Oliver versus Cappuccino Jones, Gringo Loco, and Jack Cartwheel. We have Steve Macklin versus One Kyle Manders. And we have a tag team death match of Drew Parker and Emerson Jane versus the Rejects. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, because I'm about to say it how I normally say it. Of John Wayne Murdoch and Reed Bentley. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. We're on to JCW. They got a show called Powder Keg, ladies and gentlemen. They about to boo, 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 boo. They about to set it off. We have a death match, Miles Clark versus Joey Janela. It's also on Triller TV on the first two. 6-man tag death match, Team GCW, One Kyle Manders, Effie, and Matt Tremont versus Team JCW Hall of Famers, Too Tough Tony, Madman Pondo, Mickey Knuckles, okay? JCW tag team title match, Brothers of Funstruction, which is Rollo the Clown and Yabo the Clown versus Young Altar Boys. Yes, I did say that. August Matthews and Davey Bain. We have JCW American title match, Caleb Conley versus Willie Mack. GCW Tag Team Title Match YDMP, Alex Price and Jordan Oliver versus The Outbreak, Abel Booker and Jackson Crowley. For the JCW Women's Title Number One Contendership match, Haley J versus Christina Marie. We have Alex Crowley and the Backseat Boys of JP Grayson and Tommy Grayson versus, sorry, close your ears if you're a young child, Cocaine, Mosh Pit, Mike, and Stephen Flow, sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, HOG, House of Glory. High Intensity is their show. It is on the first two. I mean, on the first, I'm working. HOG Crown Jewel title match, Zilla Fatu will defend his championship against Bully Ray. HOG women's title match, Indy Hartwell will defend her title against Priscilla Kelly. Amazing Red versus Ricochet. HOG heavyweight title match, Charles Mason versus Carlito. Back to GCW. They have an ID showcase on the first on Triller TV. GCW is working on the first like they owe money for rent. We have WWE ID Women's Title three-way match: Kaylee Ray versus Zeta Steele versus Zara Zakir. We have Timothy Thatcher versus Aaron Rook. Marcus Mathers and YDMP, which is Alex Price, Jordan Oliver, versus will go against the Vanity Project of Brad Baylor, Bryce Donovan, and Ricky Smokes. We have the WWE ID Men's Title match where Jack Cartwell will go against Cappuccino Jones. WWE, ladies and gentlemen, you all will be here with me for night one of SummerSlam. Doing a watch along. It's on Peacock. It's on the second on Saturday. Jay Uso and Roman Reigns versus Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. For the WWE Women's Tag Team Title match, the Judgment Day, Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez versus Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair. Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul versus Jelly Roll and Randy Orton. For the WWE Tag Team Title six-pack tables, ladders, and chairs match, the Wyatt Six, Dexter Loomis and Joe Gacy will defend against Andrade and Ray Phoenix. The Motor City Machine Guns, which is Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin. DIY, which is Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa. The Street Profits, which is Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford. And Fraxium, which is Axiom and Nathan Frazier. WWE Women's title match will have Tiffany Stratton versus Jade Cargill. For the WWE World Heavyweight title match, we'll have Gunther versus CM Punk. Ladies and gentlemen, we're on to New Japan Pro Wrestling. G1 Climax 35.
So this is going to be the shows on the 2nd. We have some tag matches. This is going to be a Block B day. Oli Bolton and Toriano versus the United Empire members Kyle Newman and Jacob Austin Young. Master Yasuda and Tai Chi will go up against TMDK members Hartley Jackson and Ryohei Oiba. Shumakanto and Yuya Uemura will go up against House of Torture members Sonata and Yoshinobu Kanemaru. Roshi Tanahashi and Katsuya Murashima go up against Daiki Nagai and Yota Tsuji of the unaffiliated. House of Torture members Dick Togo and Evil will go up against Bullet Club War Dog members David Finley and Gato. On to Block B action, we have Yoshihashi versus Shota Umino, Shingo Takagi versus El Phantasmo, Konosuke Takeshita versus Drill Maloney. Gabe Kidd will be forfeiting his 2 points to Brandon Rita, and Dax Saber Jr. will go one-on-one versus the Great Okan.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, and just like they working for their money, they back again. GCW will have Emo Fight, and that's on the 2nd. Priscilla Kelly versus Brooke Havoc. Brian Keith versus Zachary Wentz. We have a studded belt strap match. Drew Parker versus Anakin Murphy. Ladies and gentlemen, my favorite show to look for. Josh Barnett's Bloodsport is back. Bloodsport will also be on the 2nd, also on Triller TV. We have 99 Hart versus Masha Slamovich and Jordan Blade versus Janai Kai. This is the end, ladies and gentlemen. This is the song that doesn't end. But it doesn't go on, my friend, because it's time for spotlight. And ladies and gentlemen, the spotlight of today is brought to you by the good brother J News. J News, tell them about the spotlight you chose this week.
This week, I chose to spotlight a particular wrestler for the fact that some bad news came down about him via the interwebs during the week. Spotlight this week is Jay White. Jay White, who is currently signed to AEW, was off of TV due to a hand injury that he had unfortunately gotten a couple of months back, but it's since been reported this past week through Fightful Select and Sean Ross app that Jay White is possibly looking at not being on AEW TV through the end of 2025. It seems that Jay White is also battling some other injuries as well. Nothing that was specified via the Fightful article necessarily. But I wanted to spotlight Jay White because Jay White is tremendous talent. I don't feel like folks have gotten to experience the full depth of what Jay White can do, not only in the ring, but also as a character and as an on the mic presence. So shouts to Jay White and speedy recovery to you, brother, because at the end of the day, it sucks to know that you are fighting through various injuries at the same time. Trying to get back to being in the ring and entertaining folks in the pro wrestling world. So I just wanted to spotlight Jay White for that news that came out during the week, and also to give him a shout out and make sure that folks don't forget about him while he is away. So shouts to Jay White there.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take J News over to the next thing, okay? And ladies and gentlemen, you all know what time it is. We already go through it. It's time for me to put up what J News Chat GPT is giving for J News this week. Okay. Hey, listen up real quick. J News, that man don't miss. He dropping them 5 takes on sports like he coached the team himself. Got folks trying to do crunches from his fitness tips, and got the movie reviews that'll have you thinking twice about that Netflix pick. He's a triple threat: sports, fitness, movies. And guess what? If you ain't checking him out, then you losing out for real. Don't be lame. Go hit the subscribe and stop sleeping on greatness. That's a good man right there, period.
Chat GPT, man. What can I say? What can I say? But yeah, as always, very much appreciated. Thank you for everybody for participating in the chat. This is my QR code here. The QR code leads you to my link tree. My link tree links you to all of my different social medias, that being on Twitter, that be it on Instagram, that be it on my Letterboxd account, which is where all my written movie reviews are, folks. All of the movies I have watched this year and whatever I have reviewed is on there. The link takes you directly to my account. So if you want to see reviews for a lot of the latest movies that are out in theaters, I put that on my Letterboxd account. Also, you can watch me also on the True Heel Heat podcast on a every 2 to 3 week basis. Basically, mainly for me doing New Japan Pro Wrestling reviews and previews with SP3 and the lovely Sanal. Also, catch me here every Sunday afternoon, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Hit the Ropes podcast with the lovely Delores. And yeah, appreciate y'all as always. And I'll be back next week to review the week that was in pro wrestling.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, please. That's a good man, Savannah. Don't be out here missing J News. We don't want you missing out on J News. Ladies and gentlemen, now I'm about to get into me. Into me. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to read off, put my little QR code up while I read mine for this week. My rap lyric is from Flipper T's affirmation song. And she says, I am healthy, I am wealthy, I'm a mother dime. If it's for me, then it's for me. That's what I tell them all the time. If you walk out of my life, I just take it as a sign. 3 fingers to the sky, told them read between the lines. Okay. Uh, I just feel that way, ladies and gentlemen. So thank you, thank you, thank you. They Flipper T were playing. I'm watching. If you don't know, this man does this dance in the airport everywhere. So that's what I've been doing. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to start out by saying hi. My name is Delores, just the pink girl in my pink world. Here on every social platform, here to help you grow your world. And if you need help, whether it's social media, whether it's graphics, whether it's anything, I am Dolores of Dolores Design, ladies and gentlemen. So make sure you check me out. You want to contact me, you can contact me at this phone number or this email. Again, for those who might not know, it's not a direct line to me. This is just a work number. Please remember that. So make sure you hit me up so we can do a consultation, figure out where you're gonna go, what you need to grow your business or your channel, whether it's graphics, whether it's you need a personal song, whether it's whatever you might need. I'm the girl for it all. So you said that QR code was too small. Here we go again. Here go the big QR code. I appreciate you all. I am over 400 subscribers now. I want to thank each and every one of you who's joined my channel. Also, please go check out the people whose links have dropped in the chat below. If you want to drop your link, you have to put exclamation mark pink and it'll drop your link in the chat. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Shout out to the people who have helped make this channel and make this podcast grow from Slim Jim Longfoot. Yes, go check him out. I'm a wonderful Black Goat member now. So make sure you go over there and check him out. Maybe join his membership. Have a good time. To Miss Joy. Miss Joy is MZJOYS1. She does crafting on Mondays. And on Thursday, she has a prayer where you can come in, you can ask for a prayer or give scriptures or something that you feel like might be helpful to those in the chat. It's a very moving community. I've seen people who have had family or friends who need prayer, and we've prayed together, and the person has overcome it, or someone who like recently had a lost their mother, coming in, we prayed with them and just give them some kind of peace and hope. So please go check out Miss Joy over on her channel. Y'all know I can't go a day without talking about 10 in the women's closet. Listen, I try to be there every Friday now. I missed last Friday. I was oversleep. But every Friday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, is a place where us women come together where we can talk about issues, talk about thoughts, figure things out. Sometimes as women, we hold things and we don't have an outlet. And this is a place where you can go and express your feelings, talk about things. To register to come in there is at the educatednatural.com/woman. If you go to educatednatural.com, you can sign up to get a website done, get business consultation, and now join her membership. Listen, I've already got my membership locked in. But go in there. You have to fill out a form. She'll figure out if the level that you are trying for is what is good for you and your business. And then once you're accepted, you can go pay your money. She has a $10 level and a $45 level. Listen, I can tell you she gives you great advice. She has helped me tremendously and figure out what I want to do and moving forward with what I do for father's graphics, for his business, for his anything. Now, ladies and gentlemen, to the meat and crux of it all. We talked about it. I'm gonna be here Saturday, night one of SummerSlam watch along. You can catch me here. I think it's at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So make sure you are here for that. Also, night two on Sunday, and after the Hit the Ropes podcast, I will be here again for night two of SummerSlam. And if you already know, I have scheduled the rest of the month for WWE, so you already know. August 16th, it is uh Triple Mania, ladies and gentlemen. I cannot wait because normal times I just tell people what I see, but this time you get to see it with me. because they have decided to put Triple Mania on YouTube on the WWE network, WWE YouTube channel, so we get to watch it live. Ladies and gentlemen, on the 24th, it is NXT Heat Wave, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch a girl there too. Okay. We'll be watching all the new NXT stars. Maybe some new people will come. We'll see on NXT Heatwave. And last but not least, August 31st, 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch your girl Delores here watching WWE's Clash in Paris. Uh, I will be here in the afternoon. We probably gonna have to move the Hit the Ropes podcast because normal time we here at 1. We might go a little early, a little later, depending. But August 31st, you can catch me here. So these are the 5 shows in which we'll be doing this month as a watch along. Okay. I like to give you heads up. I like to pre-schedule if possible. So I let you all know to be on the ready for these shows. So back to me and J News. So J News, we got a busy next few days. Well, I do. GCW decided to have a show every day of the week. Okay. So, but J News, when you gonna go back? When J News gonna come back to YouTube? When you gonna come back to YouTube?
But so far, if I'm being completely honest, I don't have any plans to. But yeah, it for what it is that I'm currently doing from a professional standpoint, work wise, and just some personal stuff that's going on. Like, just haven't really made time for it.
Yeah.
Um, and all that stuff to be on camera and to set up everything and editing and post and all that jazz. Like, I'm just better off doing my written reviews. Write my first draft, re-edit stuff, put stuff together, and then put that out. I can do that in less time. Or I feel not. Should I not say do it in less time? I just feel more comfortable doing it that way.
Yeah.
So
I know people be asking them like, I'll be over there, I'll see J News video. I'm like, but let me ask. I'm gonna ask him so y'all can get the answer.
yeah.
I'm the roving reporter around here.
So
But like,
there's that, or whatever the case is. So if folks wanna, if folks are willing to read movie reviews and stuff like that, like I said, it's on my via the QR code. It's on my link tree via my letterbox accounts if they wanna read my movie reviews there. As for the movie review podcast and the movie reviews on YouTube, for now it's just not something that I'm making time for. So whenever I do get back to it, and if I get back to it, Dolores will be the first person to know, and y'all will know as well. So I'll say it here.
listen, I'm gonna give y'all a graphic with some alarms and some fire, and I'm like, there's J News is coming back, y'all. So y'all just be looking for that. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, just like every week, me and J News, we down like 4 flat tires, and you know what we are? We don't set this thing ablaze, J News. It's J News. It's on fire. I'm hot. I'm burning. And guess what? I think I can save everybody, J News, because we want them to do what? Keep their clothes on. We ain't trying to see y'all. And I got something for you. It'll help you. It'll cool you off. It's that my mom always taught me it's hot and you got the lights on. That's why it's getting hotter. But you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna cut the lights out, J News. Ooh, you felt that cool breeze, J News? Just cooled us off. We already looking like we 25. Okay? Ladies and gentlemen, we can't wait to see you next Sunday. I can't either. Because I'm gonna get to see y'all twice next Sunday. For the Hit the Roads podcast and SummerSlam. Listen, I already got some good stuff cooking. We got some games, J News. I got a custom intro, ladies singing to them. Okay? So until then, ladies and gentlemen, me and J News will see you next Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Hit the Roads podcast. And we want to tell you, peace.